Wow, guys, what a time the world is in right now. The energy is absolutely crazy, chaotic. If y'all have noticed, I haven't been here for 2 weeks, but we're back. Needed to take that little break because I don't know what was happening. Y'all were probably feeling it too. I spoke to some of my leaders and they're like, talk about this because I think everybody's feeling it. With the stars and the energy in the world, things are just absolutely crazy, insane. So, how are we supposed to be good when the entire world is just so crazy? But I'm going to tell you how. It's just focusing on what it is that you want. I moved to LA with a few goals in mind, with some intentions. I moved here with intentions and goals. I've been here for 7 months, going on 8 months now. And let me tell you, I have barely been focusing on any of that. Absolutely any of it. To the littlest degree. But I've been getting caught up in other things and things just that aren't suiting me and the life that I really want for myself and my goals. And there's just no need for that. I came here with an intention and a goal. And so it is up to me to fulfill that. And one thing I've been telling myself a lot lately is just shut up and do it. If you want something, just shut up and do it. That's the energy I have with all of this going on. That's really all you can do, is just shut up and do it. If you want it, what are you doing to get it? How are you taking actionable steps to get closer to what you want? What are you doing to align yourself more with that? How are you cutting out distractions? I've had to let go of some things recently, clear some space. The universe cleared some space for me, and I had a beautiful conversation with somebody just a couple days ago. And it was a spiritual reading, you can say. I don't really know the right terminology, but basically it was a very tapped in person reading me in my life and the energy I was giving off. And I got some palm readings done. And a couple things, 2 visuals. One that I really liked that he was like, Maggie, imagine yourself like this. You're a hummingbird. And hummingbirds, they're some of the best flyers. They're the only birds that can fly backwards. They have the long beaks so they can get right into the flowers and get exactly what they want every single time. He said, you're the hummingbird. And you found the flower. You're this little hummingbird. You're right at the flower. But do you know what you're doing? You're enjoying everything around the center and saying, that's so good. You're enjoying every other part of the flower except for the part that you're actually supposed to be enjoying, the center. And he was like, do you know what you need to do? You just need to dive full force in. And I was like, that's so real. That is so real. I needed to hear that. That was a perfect visual, perfect description. It was like, I'm right there. I am at the flower. I have all the tools that I need to go to the center of the flower to get exactly what I want, to enjoy all the sweetness. But I'm choosing to get everything around it. Why? Why? And then another thing that he said, he was reading my palm, and one of his skills is reading your totem animals. Got a lot of rare ones, but I don't think this was a totem animal. I think this was just something that he was seeing. But he asked me, he's like, how do you feel about ducks? And I was like, ducks are cool, man. I don't know. And he's like, well, how do you feel about a black duck? And I was like, it kind of reminds me of the black sheep. And I consider myself the black sheep of the family. He's like, if I think of a black duck, then they're probably pretty isolated, but they're also probably admired, and people might be confused looking at them, but they people just keep their distance, except for others that are like them. If there's other black ducks, they're homies. And he was like, that's you. You're a black duck. And I was like, you're right. I 100,000% agree. And I think that is my barrier. Because he was asking, like, what barriers do you have? What is stopping you from going to that center? And I think it's just the fear of being that black duck. It's not accepting who I actually am. Because I know I'm not meant for a normal life. My life has never been normal. I'm not normal. Literally, majority of things about me are very rare. So why would I expect to have a normal life and to do things like most people in society? I don't really know. And I think it's a comfort thing. I think it's this wanting to fit in, wanting to not be too different. But like, regardless of what I do, I'm either going to be different or I'm going to be unhappy. There's no in between. I either have to fulfill this path that I was given of being the black duck, or I can try to fit in and just be miserable. And I don't want that. So I'm fully embracing it. And another thing that he mentioned that was kind of comforting, he was just like, being a black duck doesn't mean you're the only black duck. You're going to have a community and you're going to have a family. It's just going to consist of other black ducks. And there's so many out there. And I'm already connected with so many. And I've just haven't been seeing it. I came in strong. This is good though. I've had so much to say over the last 2 weeks. I literally, 2 weeks ago, I recorded an episode, posted it, and then deleted it like a day later. And so if y'all listen to that, I just don't really know what was going on. I was not in full alignment with myself. And like, after I posted it, I was like, I cannot have that out there because that does not support who I really am and what I'm really about right now. You know, we were just going through it. I was reflecting a lot, and I was avoiding the black duck within me when I was recording that episode. So it's gone. And then last week, there was just absolutely no way that I could have recorded. I mean, there's always a way, but mentally could not. Over the 4th of July weekend, it was like my entire world just got flipped upside down. It was so chaotic. I was so just restless and crying, and some close people in my life are at a distance now or just not there, and things just got real crazy real fast, and I was like, whoa. But then it caused me to really make decisions that are aligned, and the final decisions that I made gave me so much peace, so much clarity. And then a couple days later, I had that conversation, and I learned about my barriers and what I've been doing, and I was like, wow. So I'm just really feeling pumped up about life right now. Pumped up. And just another thing I've been asking myself, if you've been following my journey, I know I started this podcast at the end of 2023, but I started modeling in 2022, like the end of 2022, and then the year 2023, I was just non-stop, multiple shoots every week. I probably did over 20 runway shows in 2023. I directed 2 runway shows. I started traveling, and I was hosting my own photo shoots and directing, and just, I was doing so much nonstop all the time. And then last year, I hardly did anything. I think I maybe did like 3 photo shoots. I did 2 runway shows. And so that was like a big switch to go from like nonstop, multiple things every single week to like hardly anything throughout the entire year. So I've been asking myself, I've been really trying to reflect on what is the difference? How did I go from this to where I am now? You know, I'm the same person, just with more growth, more knowledge, more awareness, and more desire and passion. And I live in LA now. I'm surrounded by opportunity. I'm surrounded by everything that I've been wanting. So I've been struggling to understand what is different between 2023 Maggie and 2025 Maggie right now. Maggie in 2025 is in a place with bigger, more opportunities, already has amazing connections. And Maggie in 2023 was in a smaller community, building up her own connections, and working a shit ton. And me now, I'm doing like occasional shoots here and there. And, you know, to be granted, I'm still new to LA, so it takes time. But the way my life goes, it's on me. It is absolutely on me. I don't think it's about time. I think it's about my intention and the work that I'm actually doing. I mean, that goes for everybody. But another thing that this reading stated was a lot of people struggle. A lot of people have problems. A lot of people have actual things that are stopping them from getting what they want. And for me, and for many others, but for me specifically, what's stopping me is my doubt, my self-doubt. Literally, I'm the only thing stopping me. And that's the case for many, many others. But I'm where I want to be, with the connections I want to have. So why aren't the pieces fitting together? It's because of me. I haven't been doing the things that I need to do. And it's because of this black duck fear. This fear, because I know in my head, as soon as I do the exact things that I know I need to do to get to where I want to be, my entire life changes. And I become super successful and I get what I want. And you're probably thinking like, wow, Maggie, why wouldn't you do that? Because my entire life changes. And sometimes that's scary. But I'm at a point now where I just can't do it anymore. It has to change. Change has to happen. Because it's like I have grown and learned so much and I've implemented so much that if change doesn't happen, I'm going to feel like I'm going backwards. And it's slowly like I've been at that point where it's like I either grow or I just go backwards and start declining. And, you know, things got flipped upside down in my life for a reason. It's like, Maggie, are you going to go forward and get what you want? Or are you going to start declining and giving up and saying, ooh, what's even going on? We're going forward. We're getting what we want. And a task that I was given was to write out in our journal, baby, what I like, what I don't like, what I want, and what I don't want. Getting so clear on it. I literally just wrote these out, like 5 minutes before I started recording. And it was really good. And I did it in the order of what I like, what I don't like. And then after I finished what I don't like, it was like, dang, that was a lot of energy. And it kind of made me realize thinking about what you like or thinking about what you don't like and what you don't want really takes a lot of energy. It makes you so drained. And I think I've been doing that too much. I've been thinking about what I don't want instead of putting my focus and energy on what I do want. Because that's how you get what you want. That's how manifestation works. But I did what I like, what I don't like, and then I went to what I don't want, and then I ended with what I want, just because personally I wanted to end it. I wanted to end with the high energy and just that last final vision in mind of what I want. And I'm going to start like rewriting that out every day, what I want. Because like, nobody's stopping me from doing that. I can take an hour every single day and write out what I want. No one's stopping me. It only does me good to just be more intentional and more clear on life. You know? Like what I was saying, just shut up and do it. If you want to focus on what you want, write about it every day. Wake up and write what you want every single day until it's yours. And then focus on the next thing. And you know, I think I do this as well. But I think we write a list of all the things that we want. And it's like, okay, well, I want all of this right now. But, you know, life, unfortunately, doesn't always work that way. And so get clear on what are the actual things from that list. If you could just pick, like, maybe 3 of them, you could heavily focus on for the next month. That would change the way you're living for the better. And so you can start focusing on the next 3 things, and then the next 3 things, and then the next 3 things, and then wow, you have everything that you want and more. It's so fun. It is so fun. And there's nobody stopping us. We're the only ones stopping ourselves. And I have been realizing that I have been afraid to truly speak what I want, to really sit down and be honest with myself of like, I already know what I want, and I've just been beating around the flower, avoiding the center of like, well, I want this, but, well, and I want this, but, no, I want the center. I want it. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And you shouldn't be either. Stop going around the flower and go for the center. Literally what he told me is like, you just have to go hard at what you want. Full dive off the cliff. Like literally hands together, dive for it. That's the only way it's going to happen. Especially out here in LA. And this was somebody who's very connected in LA too. Like somebody, if I get what I want, if I do all the things that I need to do for my modeling, acting, I can literally just hand it to him. And then it's like, but you know, we have lessons, and we have time of growth, and we have time of reflection. Because I had to go through it all. You know, the last 7 months were absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. But now it's just no more. No more. We're moving forward. We're shifting our focus and getting back to our intentions and our goals. Because, you know, I had to settle in. I had to meet some people, do some crazy things. Nothing too crazy. I really didn't do anything crazy. But, yeah. It's like I'm the only one that's been stopping me. And so, some actionable things that I've been doing. I started going to Mini. This all just happened over the weekend. I went to a fashion event. I went to one of my first fashion shows. I think that was actually the first fashion show I attended out here, other than the one I was in March. But it wasn't even, it was a fashion show. It was just for TV. And I'm still waiting on that to come out. I'm excited for that. So it's like, I've been doing a lot of things. I just know I could be doing more to get what I want. And, yeah, I'm excited for it. So just attending more things, being more intentional, and actually doing the things that I need to do that I know are going to get me to where I want to be. For example, making my actors real. I'm in LA and I don't have an actor's reel. That is actually insane. And I want to call myself an actress. Who do I think I am? If you are an actor or an actress and you're calling yourself an actor or an actress, I'm saying this to myself too, and you don't have an actor's reel, you're setting yourself up for failure. Truly. Because the first thing any agent or manager is going to ask for, and even some auditions if you're submitting for yourself, can you send me your actor's reel? I don't have it. Thanks for wasting my time then. It's like, don't come to LA and play games, because then they're just going to ignore you. Because there's so many other people who are prepared. Even if they're half as talented as you, they have their actor's reel, and so they're going to get moved forward, and you're not, because you were unprepared. So don't be that guy. If you want to call yourself an actor, have the actor's reel. And I'm actively writing it out. I wrote in my notebook last night of just what I want to include in it, the type of monologues that I want to do, because I don't have a lot of experience, and that's been my excuse. Oh, I don't have clips I can create. I've only done background work. And create monologues. Research actors' reels. I have never taken the time to do that, ever. I have never sat down and said, what is included in an actor's reel? What can I include in my actor's reel? Of course I don't know, because I haven't taken the time to know. But now I know, and I'm going to learn more. So I've been writing out examples from either specific characters that I want to portray or just specific monologues that I already have in my brain that I want to act out, put it in my actor's reel. Grab all the background work that I've done, put it in my actor's reel. If I want to do like action films, recording like action scenes, it's that simple. And then just putting it all together in a compilation, which I already know how to do. I know how to edit. I know how to put videos together. And then sending it off. And I'm also getting myself new digitals, because I haven't gotten new digitals in a while. And new headshots. So we're doing all the things. And I just started going to the gym again. I got a job at a gym to specifically have a free gym membership. Been there for a month. A little over a month. I've taken a couple yoga classes. But today was the first day I actually went in and just like, you know what, I'm going to work out. And it was so good. I did back and biceps and a little bit of triceps, and then I did some core, and then I ran a mile. I've never once went into the gym and ran a mile. I go on runs occasionally, but it felt so good. I was in my mind, I was like, all right, we're going to run a mile. And then as soon as I hit the mile, it was like something just went over my body of just like, fuck yeah energy. And I just wanted to keep going. So I ran 1.1 mile. Could have ran more, but I also didn't want to like overdo it, because I plan on going to the gym consistently now and going on more runs every week. And so we'll build it up from there. But I did 1.1 mile, and I was really proud of myself. And then I went and did some yoga and stretched and came home and made myself a fabulous meal. And then I sat there and wrote out all my things, and now I'm recording a podcast. And that's been my day-to-day. And it's been so wonderful. And I just want to come on here and share this. Just shut up and do it. And research. And learn what you want and be honest with yourself about what you want. Don't be afraid to express what you want, because that's only going to keep it further away from you. That's all I've got for you. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. This felt good. I appreciate you, and I'm genuinely excited to see where I go, where I take things, and just all the things that I accomplish. And I'm excited to see all the things that you guys accomplish. And as I've been saying, more guests always, more solo episodes always, because I've always got something to say. But yeah, get your journal, write out what you like, what you don't like, what you want and what you don't want, and then continue to write out what you want. And don't focus on the bad. Focus on what it is that you want.